Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. We are talking about the Sean Strickland Magomedov main event, and on the first fight of on that card is Bruno Ferreira versus Ruzi Boev, and my prediction is Ruzi Boev by decision. What do you think there, backhand?
Yeah, I'm going with Ruzi Boev as well. I'm thinking the same thing. I think his wrestling transition game to the wrestling with his quick punch and takedown is going to get it done.
By decision is smart because I think Bruno is going to gas out after the first round. He's shown that before in his last fight. And I think this one with his the man's pressure with the wrestling and the grappling, I don't think he's going to take him out because Bruno is undefeated and he has submissions. I think he's going to be able to get up, but I don't think he's going to consistently get up. And I think Ruzi Boev is going to keep him on the ground and actually do some ground and pound, but probably going to take him down a couple times. That's my prediction.
Who's the favorite in this fight again?
It's Bruno because he's undefeated.
Yeah, so he's undefeated, 14-0 with all KOs and submissions. He finished every fight. So, another thing that, I might do is, live bet this one, right? You were talking about that.
Yes, because if you live bet this one, because Bruno's the favorite, and Bruno's going to come out like a cannonball, and he usually does. That's why he kind of gasses out. But he's going to come out, and he's going to throw and throw and throw and throw. He's going to gas himself out, and by the next round, if Ruzi Boev makes the next round, that is, he's going to control the fight, what he wants to do and how he wants to do it.
So, my bad. Bruno's 10-0. Bruno Ferreira's 10-0. 8 first-round finishes, 2 second-round finishes. So, I think a live bet definitely as the first round gets over, just to make sure that the KO doesn't happen for Bruno. And then, so just wait it out and then see possibly if there's another small little prop bet for if it's plus money, if you can bet 100 to make 150, let's say, on Bruno Ferreira by KO. He's got a lot of KOs, mostly KOs on his resume, 7 KOs, 3 submissions. So, going with the wrestler, Ruzi Boev. He's not much information on him because he's fought outside of the UFC, so it'll be interesting to see that first round and live bet it.
Yeah, live bet this one, and then Ruzi Boev afterwards because of the gas tank. Like, subscribe, comment. Got anything else, backhand?
No, I was just gonna say, even though Bruno punches strong, it's just basically the other guy's fat. Ruzi Boev is just faster in and out. The punch to the takedown, it's just gonna be, I think, a little bit too much for Ferreira, over 3 rounds. So, like you said, by decision, Ruzi Boev. Yep.
Thanks, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the UFC Strickland versus Magomed card. This is the second fight. It's Ismail Bonfim versus Benoit Saint Denis. We got 2 27-year-olds, young up-and-comers. Reach advantage, 1.5-inch reach advantage for Benoit. He's got the 4 significant strikes per minute landed, and Bonfim has got 5 significant strikes per minute landed. But Benoit he's got three takedowns per fight, so he's got the wrestling over Bonfim. So it's an interesting fight. Bonfim is minus 300. I'm going with Bonfim, Ismail Bonfim. That's my pick.
Bonfim by decision is my pick because I think Saint Denis is a gamer and he likes to throw. He likes to take down people. He likes to fight. So I think Bonfim by decision is the way to go because I think Bonfim is a better, more dangerous fighter in general. So I think he's going to stuff a couple takedowns. He's going to get discouraged. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets taken out in this fight, Saint Denis.
Sure.
But, I think Saint Denis wants to... I think he's
a fast fighter. He's a fast twitch guy.
And
right?
I think, yes.
He's got KO power. He when he leaps in, he throws with a lot of aggression, a lot of speed, intention, speed with the punch, and then he can back out super quick. He reads leg kicks from a mile away, and it feels like it's a mile away to him, and he backs away super quick.
Not that he is waiting to get hit, but he's not scared to get hit either.
No.
With Saint Denis, but like Bonfim, he's a dangerous fighter.
Yeah,
And
Bonfim is super
he's
dangerous.
going to win this fight.
He's going to win this fight. He's minus 320, which is a hefty price, $300 to make 100. However, you look at Bonfim, just looks like a fast twitch guy. Looks like a guy who could be in the top 15 soon. You look at Benoit and you look at his last KO that he had. It was okay, but again, Benoit was. I feel like he's just going for spinning. I think he did like a spinning attack. Like he's just kind of. I don't think he's a person that you would want to put your money on because he's just a guy who is not really thinking very smartly in there. Versus Bonfim is calculated and fast and strong with the power, so he's got it all over Benoit in my opinion. And Benoit does kind of some dumb things in the fight where I think. They're both young, but I just feel like Bonfim looks like a wise beyond his years type of a guy, right?
Yes.
Like smart.
Like he's been there before.
Dude, he's been there before. Like he knows what to do. He knows how to win. Benoit looks like he's winning here and there, but Benoit is just like things are happening and he's got good combinations. When he gets close, when he backs up somebody near the cage and they just end up, wilting or something, he can get them if they do a stupid like punch when they should be dodging. But Bonfim looks like he sets up knockouts. He can get you. And he's just a puncher. And he's just some people are just born with power. That's what he is.
He sets people up.
Speed and power. Right. Yep, he sets them up. So
he sees what you do. He takes advantage of that and then gets you out of there. So, but
yeah,
Bonfim for the win.
Definitely Bonfim for the win.
Thanks everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for listening and continuing to join us on We've Been Drinking MMA. We're breaking down the UFC Strickland Magomedov fight cards. The third fight on the card. This is Ariane Lipski versus Melissa Gatto. And my pick is actually going to be neither of them have power, so neither of them are going to finish each other. So I'm going for this fight is going the distance. So I'm going to bet that it's going to go all 3 rounds.
And my pick is Ariane Lipski by decision, and that's going to be my lock of the card. I think there's no way Gatto is going to take down Lipski so much that she wins this fight, and she's not going to submit her. So Lipski with her striking is going to keep the distance, and she doesn't have enough power to get Gatto with her striking. But she's going to score at least 2 rounds in this, and I think she's going to win this fight by decision. And that's my lock.
Yeah, it just seems like Lipski is she can throw combinations, but she is Gatto is the favorite minus 200, and I think it's because she's got the takedown ability, and Lipski is kind of she's a stand-up fighter, but she doesn't really have a high volume of strikes. Like neither of them do actually. Like Lipski only lands 3.8 significant strikes per minute, and then Gatto is less, 3.2 significant strikes per minute landed for Gatto. So it's just one of those fights that Gatto has got 1.6 takedowns per fight. So Gatto is going to keep going for the takedown. She's got the reach advantage of 2-inch reach advantage. They're both, So none of them really have KO power. Gatto is a little bit faster, which makes me think that she's going to be pushing maybe Lipski a little bit more, especially with the reach. She'll kind of dive in, leap in with a punch here and there. Again, not much power, so it's just going to push Lipski back a little bit. Lipski might, look for a combination when she's back up against the cage a little bit, but they're going to miss a lot. And it's just going to be, honestly, I think I'm not looking for this fight to be that interesting or that exciting. I think it's going to be actually a bit of a snooze fest, which is why I'm going for that it goes all 3 rounds. And I'm sure it's probably going to be like, whatever, $200 to make 100, on it going the distance. But that's my bet.
Especially if Lipski stuffs a couple of takedowns from Gatto.
Yeah.
Then I think Lipski's going to keep her distance. And I don't think with Lipski's striking, she's going to be able to keep her off that much because it's not that powerful. In my opinion, and then it's gonna be a grapple fest.
Yeah, don't you think
against the fence?
It's gonna be grapple fest, and the thing is, Lipski is competent, like on the ground, and like the thing about Lipski though is that like even though like she's not throwing with heavy power or like with like speed with the punches that much, but it is combinations, and she does have some power.
Yes.
So like it's one of those things where you don't you don't want to just like go in like reckless and try and go for the finish against Lipski. Like it's one of those fighters where you just want to like you'd be happy with just winning 3 rounds against her comfortably, or trying to do that as a game plan, right? Like,
Yeah.
nobody's trying to, like, knock out Lipsky. Like, it's not smart to do.
No.
And Lipsky going for the knockout, it's not really smart for her to do because Gatto has the reach. So Lipsky has to look for combinations to land and just
Patience.
and be first, but be smart about it because Gatto can duck under for the takedown. So it looks like both of them are going to be, like, kind of neutralized in their game plans. So
Yeah.
that's why I think it's going the distance. Good luck with the betting on that one, guys. Hey guys, this is Backhand. And
This
joining
is
with
lousy.
Lousy. We've been drinking MMA. Appreciate you joining us. This is the fourth fight on the UFC fight card for Sean Strickland versus Magomedov, and this is Max Griffin versus Michael Morales. It's going to be an exciting fight. There's no doubt. This might be, I don't know if you want to say fight of the night, but it could be easily fight of the night. I think, honestly, the main event is the fight of the night. Strickland versus Magomedov. They both have,
Yeah.
they both go
The
forward.
reason why that's a main event.
Oh, man. That is the fight of the night. But this probably is the second fight of the night, I would say.
This probably is the fight of the night. But like,
Yeah, overall.
I can't wait for the main event, but
Yeah.
like, this might actually, if you're a betting guy, this is the fight of the night.
It's going to be fun. It's going to
Two
be fun.
scrappers here.
So for me, I'm going to pick the underdog, So Morales is minus 240. Max Griffin is plus 200. 100 to make 200. And I'm going with I'm picking Max Griffin, the underdog, for plus 200.
I can see why you said that for sure, but I can't pick a winner here.
Yeah.
So I'm going the distance because I don't think either one's gonna knock each other out, and I don't think anybody's gonna sub anybody in this one. This is gonna be a stand and bang type deal.
So actually, the way I'm going to bet it, though, is I am picking Griffin, but I'm going to bet, my bet is going to be going the distance all 3 rounds. Because if Griffin wins, it's not going to be by KO. Morales has great distance control and just kind of a freak athlete. He does like an amazing Superman punch. Like he's just amazing. So if Griffin wins, which I'm picking him to win, it's going to be by decision. So going the distance is a really smart bet for me because just in case Morales makes it a close fight and Morales takes this fight seriously instead of showboating like he did in his last fight, Morales could win, right? Obviously. So going the distance makes a lot of sense because Griffin also keeps the distance well. They both keep the distance well. And then, so I'm going to put my major bet to go all 3 rounds, going the distance, and then a nice medium-sized bet, maybe a smallish medium-sized bet on Max Griffin outright. Just in case Morales is doing some stupid shit and then Griffin like catches him or something or submits him or takes him down, whatever.
It would be a mistake if Morales thought Griffin was a tomato can here.
But let's be honest, like Griffin is the type of fighter that Morales would think is kind of a journeyman can because Griffin is 37 years old and Morales is 24.
He's a big time up and coming prospect.
Dude, big time. I mean, this guy basically very flashy, fast, keeps the distance incredibly well, stays far away, doesn't really get leg kicked often. Like he's very smart about the distance. However, his output is low, I would say. Even though he has a significant strike count of 5 significant strikes landed per minute and Griffin only has 4, so advantage to Morales. The thing is that Morales KOs people, right? So obviously when you KO people quickly, the strike count, goes up when you end the fight, early. He's got a lot of KOs, 4 KOs in his last 5 fights. And really what happens is people, I think they underestimate Morales and they try to go after him. And then Morales is phenomenal counterpuncher. I think he thinks that he's like the new Anderson Silva. Like the way he fights, the way he punches, like he
thinks he's the champ already.
I think he thinks he's the champ, and I think Morales has seen a lot of Anderson Silva, and I think Anderson Silva is his idol basically. But except Anderson was like doing this at the highest level, and Morales is knocking out cans.
Yeah.
So I think Morales needs to stop showboating. But anyways, I think Morales is a great up and coming talent though. Like I said, great fast counterpuncher, really fast short punches. So if you get too close to him, you will get KO'd, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. Don't go after him. But Griffin is very smart at keeping the distance, like I said. Griffin it stands orthodox, so he uses his left hand to jab, and then he has power punches with his right. But guess what? He's really, really smart, and that's why I think that he has an advantage over Morales, is Griffin doesn't get his head exposed because Griffin rarely uses that big right punch. So he's always using the left jab, or he'll use like a left hook, or, things like that, and then a leg kick, and then and his output is high. Like he's always trying to push the pace and look for openings, whereas Morales is looking to counter a little bit more. But Morales can obviously do some weird stuff like a Superman punch to a leg kick and do some talented things. So Morales definitely should be the favorite. I'm just saying over the long 3 rounds, I think Griffin will be looking to push the pace and also more often and also mixing the takedowns.
Yeah, really watch his first round to see how Griffin reacts to Morales' youth and how he fights. So
Also, even though Max Griffin is 37 years old, I personally think he's peaking because in his last fight against Tim Means, Tim Means and him were a little bit close, and Tim Means went for some sort of punch or something, and but his head was kind of in harm's way. And Max Griffin he used that straight right, power punch that he rarely uses, but he timed it perfect, and he dropped Tim Means, and he was on top of him, ground and pounding, a hammer fist on Tim Means. Tim Means is just so gritty, right? I mean, like it's tough to finish Tim Means.
Yeah, with his dirty boxing, how he fights.
He's like he reminds me of Nate Diaz. Good everywhere, like just iron chin, like a zombie.
Good everywhere, not great anywhere.
That's exactly that's exactly Nate Diaz and Tim Means. So Max Griffin literally could have had the KO in 1 minute in the first round, and if that happened, I don't think Morales would be minus 240 here. I think it would be a pick'em fight. So I think we're getting great odds for Max Griffin is my point. And so, yeah, going with Max Griffin, I think he's going to get more strikes.
You are going to go with Max Griffin straight up?
Well, my big bet, my normal bet is going to be going the distance, and then I'll put like a smallish bet on just Max Griffin for the $100 to make 200.
That's such a good bet.
Yeah, just I like that. Great price, right?
I'm going to go going the distance because I could not pick a winner in this.
Right, that's the right bet.
I like that a lot. That's good reasoning there.
And it's a fun fight. Yeah. I mean, like Morales is so dangerous. Like
it's gonna be a stand and bang type.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Like I mean, Max Griffin is gonna be pushing the face. Morales looking to counter. Classic kind of matchup. And Griffin can mix in the takedowns, but Morales looks like the type of like athlete that can get up off the ground. He can, and it's like if you make one mistake on the ground, Morales will create space and get up. So Morales is one of those kind of freak. Fast twitchy type athletes.
The age difference is pretty big here.
Big one, yeah. That's a big.
But like Max Griffin is gonna show why he's in the UFC here, so it's gonna be going distance. And Mr. Backhand over here is going with Max, and that's not a terrible bet. So that's what we think. And like, subscribe, comment. Thanks everybody.
Thanks for continuing to join us on We've Been Drinking MMA. We're breaking down the UFC Sean Strickland versus Magomedov card. This is the co-main event here. This is Damir Ismagulov versus Grant Dawson. And my pick is, in my opinion, I think that it's going the distance all 3 rounds. So I'm going to bet going the distance.
And I'm going to differ from you, Backhand. I am going Damir Ismagulov inside the distance. I think he's going to take Grant Dawson out. And the reasoning behind that is his mindset. He's coming off that retirement that he did against after he fought Sarkisian after he got dominated in that fight. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to come in with guns blazing. I think he's going to take Grant Dawson out because he's going to show why he deserves to be in the UFC, and he's going to take Grant Dawson out, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I get it. Ismagulov probably had some injuries, probably why he retired. He's coming back. He's still 32 years old, so still young. Grant Dawson is 29 years old.
Both in their prime.
Yeah, Ismagulov has the reach advantage, which is huge because Ismagulov has a nice leaping in 1-2. Little short little leap in, very fast with that second punch. Leg kicks, solid. Can get off the ground. Obviously, Saryukin could not keep him down, and we all know Saryukin what he can do on the ground. So, Ismagulov got that 2-inch reach advantage. That's going to really help in this fight. 3.7 significant strikes per minute landed, not great. But Dawson is only 3.1 significant strikes landed. And Ismagulov 1 takedown per fight, but his specialty is getting up off the ground. And Grant Dawson is 3.8 takedowns per fight. He's a wrestler.
But I think Ismagulov's going to stuff a couple of those takedowns.
100%. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, too, that's why I think it's going all 3 rounds, is that I think Dawson's just going to be wrestling the whole fight, and Ismagulov is just going to be trying to take him off, like get him off him the whole fight. I think Dawson's just going to be chasing him around, honestly, because Ismagulov does have a fast 1-2 when he leaps in, but overall, I feel like Ismagulov is a master of defense and keeping the distance. He stands far away, and is just his reactions on the defensive, with twitching, backwards a little bit, very smart and just very defensive. So when you're very defensive, that leads to a lot of decisions. That's why in the UFC, all of his wins, he's got 5 wins in the UFC, all decisions, and he's got 1 loss, and that was a decision. So the thing is, he doesn't, in my opinion, I mean, factually, he doesn't, in the UFC anyways, no finishes, and he cannot be finished, basically. So that's a huge reason why I think it's going the distance is just Ismagulov's record, and then, like I said, of a defensive fighter who can keep getting up off the ground and can make it a grueling fight. Like, you know, you might want to wrestle, and then all of a sudden you'll regret it, because Ismagulov will just start rolling with you, and it's grueling, right? So Grant, in my opinion, is just a little bit overall faster and a better athlete than Ismagulov, but Ismagulov is a better fighter because Ismagulov is just smarter and just better distance
Grant's
control
a better
defense.
athlete.
Yes.
Demir is a better fighter.
100%. That's exactly, like, that's well said. Ismagulov's a better fighter. Dawson is just better athlete, and Dawson is a guy who you can just see when he's on the ground, he makes extra little maneuvers. You could tell, like, he's wrestled in college. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty damn sure he's wrestled in college. You can tell he's just very smart. And takes advantage of a lot of scenarios. But again, not on the level of someone like Saryukin, who is top 8 or top 5 now. And Ismagulov was just fine getting up off the ground from Saryukin. So I think it's just going to be one of those fights where Ismagulov keeps a distance. Dawson's going to try and chase after him. You know, not really. He's going to hit air because Ismagulov is going to be out of the way. And Ismagulov will hop in with some, the 1-2 combos here and there and some leg kicks. And Dawson will eat them. And Dawson will keep trying to come forward. And I guess it makes sense. Ismagulov a win by decision? You think by KO because he's trying to prove that. What were you trying to say? That
I think his mindset after his retirement is, I'm going to show why I'm in the UFC and then get this guy out of here.
Right, because the last fight, I don't think it's fun getting controlled by Saryukin for 3 rounds.
That's a different type. That's a different level.
That might be why he retired. He was just like, man, this is annoying.
Embarrassing.
Like, I had this huge record. I mean, at that point, it wasn't Ismagulov, like, wasn't he like only 1 loss or something absolutely unbelievable record? Like, his record is 24-2. So up until his last fight, he was 24-1. Like, imagine that record. Like, you probably think that you're gonna go fight for the championship in like 3 or 4 more fights, and then he loses like a embarrassing kind of like where he couldn't really do anything because Saryukin just keep taking him down, and Ismagulov's a defensive fighter continuously, and then that's.
But Grant Dawson's not Saryukin.
Yeah, no. Grant Dawson is a good wrestler. Striking is slow, but he is kind of athletic, so he can take advantage of opportunities with his like punches, and he'll throw maybe a 1-2 here and there, and he's relatively athletic and fast. He's slightly fast, not very fast, and I just don't see this being a very fun fight to watch either. Again, the wrestler versus the guy trying to run away from the wrestling and getting up off the ground. It's just, to me, it's just kind of like whatever.
I kind of disagree because I think Demir's going to come with his kickboxing and get Grant out of there.
Dude, I would actually, I'd like to lose. I would like Ismagulov to just go for it, man. But I do feel like he's a little defensive. But if he leaps in and goes for the 1-2 a lot more and puts it on Grant, because he's not afraid of the takedown.
That's gonna be a fun fight to watch.
Like, dude, maybe Ismagulov just goes, "Hey, Dawson, I don't think you can strike. You're just a wrestler," and then he just walks forward and really goes for the 1-2.
I know how to strike against a wrestler. Let's go.
Oh, then then he can get the KO.
Yeah,
that would be sick if he really tries to. That would be fun.
That would be a fun fight.
That's why I'm interested in the fight, to see if Ismagulov really wants to leap in with the 1-2.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But like, it's probably gonna go your route a little bit. Like,
I mean, let's be honest. Like, he's never finished anybody in the UFC,
especially in the first round.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I would love to see in the second round just Ismagulov. I'm tired of this.
It would be cool to see. He does have a phenomenal. His 1-2 short leap in punch is top 5 material. It's very fast. It's great. He just doesn't do it enough, in my opinion. But it'll be fun to see if he wants to do it more. And now that he's probably healed up from some injury after his retirement, so yeah. Good luck betting on that, guys. I'm going again by going the distance all 3 rounds. I'm betting it going all 3 rounds. And Lousy over there is going Ismagulov by KO. So
inside the distance. It could go by choke.
Submission or KO. That's true, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I am Lousy. I'm sitting right next to.
This is back in.
And we are talking about the main event, the Sean Strickland, Abus Magomedov fight. And I'm going Sean Strickland for the win. Yep,
I am also picking Sean Strickland. He's minus $150, $150 to make 100. A slight favorite.
Sean Strickland's pressure, his striking, his underrated grappling. I think his grappling is actually better than most people think of it, because when you think of Sean Strickland, you think of his pressure and his striking, but I think his grappling is actually like he doesn't get taken down that much.
Did he actually take down Cannonier for a little?
Yeah, he took down
He did.
Cannonier. Yeah.
He took down Cannonier. And Cannonier is great against wrestlers.
Yes.
He did great against what's his name in his last fight? Italian stallion guy.
Yeah,
Vittori, and he also did great against Brunson, where he was good against the takedown, stuffed him, and then knocked out Brunson, who's a great wrestler at middleweight, top 3 wrestlers at that division.
Strickland keeps the fight where he wants it,
yes.
on the feet.
Yes.
So he's an end boss for sure.
End boss
I think he's a top 10 fighter. He's gonna come ready to scrap, and he's gonna win this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Magomed can punch with combinations. He leaps in mostly, and he just got these fast punches, fast twitch guy. But it's against lower level competition. Obviously, he's from the PFL, and he had one fight in the UFC against Stoltz, and he knocked him out in 20 seconds. So, there was not much to read about that.
Yeah, Magomedov is gonna try to take Strickland's lunch money. It's just not gonna work on this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those fights where it's like, I mean, look at Strickland's last fight. He took it on 1 or 2 weeks' notice. 2 weeks' notice, I think it was, maybe even 1 week notice. Against a guy who was top 10 at that time and still is, named Nasruddin Imavov, and Strickland walked him down, pressured him.
Zombie walk.
Literally,
for sure.
He was up 3-0, right? Yeah. And then literally in the 4th and 5th, because Strickland loves the people, he is the people's champ at this point. I think everyone agrees at this point he's the people's champ. He walked forward eating punches and didn't give a shit because he felt bad for the fans. On 1 week notice, he felt bad for the fans. That's how much of a gamer and a people's champ he is.
How much he likes to spar and
he loves
how
people,
he fights.
Man.
Yeah.
He just loves to
he just likes it.
He loves the thrill of going for KOs, and even though he doesn't have the most KO power, he can KO people.
His volume and
his punches.
Striking,
his punches are really good. His combinations, and yeah, he walked forward. He went for the knockout, and he lost 1 round because of that. And he got hit quite a bit against Imavov in his last fight just to go for the knockout. Not saying he's going to go for that again because Magomedov's got more power, but I think Strickland has got it all over Magomedov. Magomedov's fast twitchy. Strickland maybe a little more slow twitchy, but like Lousy said, Strickland walks you down.
Gets hit once to throw 3.
Exactly. And he can land all 3. That's what's crazy against Cannonier in couple fights ago. Again, like it's like Cannonier might hit him once and then boom, Strickland can counter with a 3-punch combo and get them all, land them all almost. It's crazy what Strickland can do. Strickland is throwing a lot of fake punches, meaning coming forward, throwing some lackadaisical punches on purpose to get you a little bit kind of feeling okay, and then he'll hit you with a 3-punch combo. Yeah, this guy's nothing. And then he'll hit you with like a 2 or 3 punch combo.
Boom, boom.
And you're like, what the hell? And he hits.
What was that?
He hits with speed and accuracy. The guy stands straight up, so flat-footed. So it's even though you think it's kind of lackadaisical, when he lands, it hurts you, and he can change a fight. And he was a very close fight with Cannonier, who showed that Cannonier is a top 3 guy at the middleweight, and Strickland can easily beat Cannonier on any given night. Like, it was that close of a fight.
Yeah.
So I remember we both that was our first podcast. It's kind of cool that it came full circle and we got Strickland again. Cannonier fought 2 weeks ago. Yeah, yes. Cannonier fought 2 weeks ago. Strickland fighting this is kind of coming full circle. And both of them are still freaking dominating at the top 5 in the elite, part of the middleweight division, 185 pounds. So yeah, man, it's amazing. And going with Strickland, I think he's just gonna walk Magomedov down. I think he's gonna get the combinations in. He's gonna put the pressure, get the leg kicks in, and just use the veteran skills to just get Magomedov comfortable and just walk him down. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, Sean Strickland for the win. I think there's no doubt in this one.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, guys.